Right, how are you doing, everybody? Welcome to Russell Heritage Golf. Today we're going to be talking about the posture. Posture is really important, and we kind of know it's important, but it's one of the things that I tend to see is the most common mistake when it comes to doing online lessons. And like I say to you guys, every time that I feel that I'm seeing a particular fault with online lessons, I'll definitely share the information with you so that you guys aren't necessarily maybe making that same sort of mistake. To give the posture some sort of context first, let's talk about what we're trying to do. Golf is a side-on sport. In essence, we're standing to the side of the golf ball. So think of things like kicking a football, baseball, tennis. The success of these sports is very much dictated to anticipation of flight and footwork. So if we were kind of having a game of tennis, you hit the ball towards me, it's watching the flight of the ball, moving my feet accordingly to create space to then kind of try and hit it. Same with baseball, same kicking a football. You would basically lose your ability to demonstrate the thing that you wanted to if you didn't anticipate flight. So basically, if the ball came into you and instead of you anticipating it and stepping and the ball got stuck under your feet, you wouldn't be able to hit your topspin. You'd have to kind of just hit it from underneath you, therefore losing any sort of athleticism. And like I said, having the control over the particular shot. Now, golf is exactly the same thing. So if you're in your posture, and whatever the posture ends up looking like at this moment, you're creating space. And if in the backswing position you encroach that space, it's going to have a huge hindrance on your delivery and your control of the shot. So we need to make sure that you don't fall forward. I talk about this a lot on the channel. We talk about feelings and we talk about drills. And the idea is that basically we're trying to turn the pelvis into the leg. But if you're kind of doing this and you realize that you're failing, then another problem would be in your posture. So when we kind of stand up, obviously walking around, and then we go into our golf posture, we use the term sort of anterior tilt because it basically just means the pelvis is downward facing. But what we've got to be careful is that we don't excessively stick the bum out. Now, I don't think this is as such a golf problem. I think this is more like your postural problem that you're carrying into golf. So that would basically mean that you have excessive curvature of the spine or some excess curvature of the spine in your normal posture, and then when you go to stick your hips back, they're basically falling too far behind you. Or if you like, you're too pronounced with how downward facing the pelvis is in your posture. And then, you know, if the pelvis is that downward facing, the only way when you rotate is there's no way you can get the hip back any deeper. So what will happen is as you turn, you'll end up falling forward. So the trick to this is to spend some time with some sort of awareness and to work on pelvic tilt exercises. And for more detail, just type that into YouTube and there'll be an abundance of videos that will be able to help you out. But in essence, the feeling is that you're trying to get the belt buckle closer towards your chin in the address position. This will kind of neutralize the sort of pelvis, if you like, and get it stop being so kind of drop down in this fashion and more kind of neutral. Then go into your golf posture and you should see a reduction in curvature across the lower to the mid spine. So not this sort of curvature where I can place my fingers in between my back and the actual golf club itself, and I'm reducing that. And it basically just means that the pelvis is more tucked underneath me, which then will make life a lot easier to be able to rotate and create space in the backswing. So I've had this conversation with a lot of people recently, and they chat about that their friend's a really good golfer and their swing thought is that they just fire the right arm through, or they hit it with the back of the left wrist, or they do X, Y, Z. And then some people say, yeah, I play other sports, right? So I'm really accomplished baseball player, I'm an accomplished tennis player, or I'm accomplished whatever it might be. And it's like, yes, but you're misinterpreting the idea that you have a really good footwork and anticipation of flight to be able to do the thing. If you lose that, you'll lose the ability to do everything else. And that's what I mean. That's like massively what seems to carry on into golf as well. So you have to be able to stay in posture. Basically, what I'm trying to suggest is that the problem is that if you stick the bum out too much before going into your golfing posture, essentially it's going to be impossible to get the right hip any deeper. So it'll end up coming forward in this sort of fashion. So you've got to try and learn to tuck under, then go into posture, and then you'll be able to abide by the same feeling. But this time around, you'll be able to create space. And to see if you're getting it right, although I wouldn't think about it like this in your golf swing, you could go tuck under, golf posture, rotate back, stick your bum out in transition. If you've stuck your bum out too much in the posture and then you swing back, you'll notice the way that it's really uncomfortable to stick your bum back out again in transition because you've already excessively used the anterior tilt, basically getting the pelvis down. So it's like Tuck under, posture, rotate back, stick your bum out. Under, rotate back, stick your bum out. And like I said, if you've already got your bum sticking out, you'll drift forward in the backswing, and you'll find life really difficult to re-establish posture coming in towards the early downswing. So as ever, 100%, it's something that you need to work on and need to do. Catch up with you guys again soon.